Hello guys, and welcome back to WCW. Some unfortunate news in the fact that my recording software, OBS, decided to freeze while I was recording the WCW Souled Out pay-per-view, which I originally booked on camera and showed you the results, but again, it froze. So, here are the results from WCW Souled Out 1995, which got a 2.69 pay-per-view buy rate, and we held it in the Fargo Dome in the Midwest with 28,805 people. The show got a 79. It probably could have been better if I picked a different semi-main event, like the WCW World Television title. Possibly could have been better, but I decided to go with that because with the Warrior versus the Renegade because of the wait because it had the highest heat going into the pay-per-view, if I remember correctly. But anyways, let's run it from the stop. Tatanka won a pre-show battle royal just to get everyone else on the card. And then the announcers, Tony Schiavone, Bobby the Brain Heenan, and Eric Bischoff, my user character, hypes the main event, which was Hulk Hogan versus Ric Flair. But they also hyped the entire show. Then, for the first match, Chris Jericho defeated Eddie Guerrero to retain the WCW Cruiserweight Championship title. Luger and Savage and Arn Anderson and Brian Pillman argue, leading to this match. Arn Anderson and Brian Pillman defeating Lex Luger and Randy Savage. When Lex Luger turned his back on the WCW universe and the fans and aligned with the Four Horsemen, turning on Randy Savage. So Brian Pillman picked up the pinfall over Randy Savage. I got an 82. Match of the night, I think. Yep, that was the match of the night. And then the Giant defeating Alex Wright, getting his revenge. If I remember correctly, Alex Wright beat the Giant in their first go-around. And then Ray beat Chris Benoit for the number one contendership to the Cruiserweight title. Eddie Guerrero and Benoit will then fight. Some unfortunate news about Rey Mysterio is I'm pretty sure I got a bad Destiny roll. In the sense that I'm pretty sure Rey Mysterio does not liking with work people bigger than him, and because of that, he's a small guy, maybe a lightweight. There's not many people bigger than Rey Mysterio. So there's not many people smaller than Rey Mysterio, and Rey doesn't like working with people bigger than him. So that may be the end to Rey's push, sadly. Then we had Jeff Jarrett and Roddy Piper defeating Kurosawa and Jushin, whatever his name is, Thunder Liger. I got a 79. And Jeff Jarrett got the pinfall over Jushin, I think. And then the American Males hyped their match with the Blue Bloods, which got a 65, a decent rating for the American Males talking. And the American Males defeat the Blue Bloods to retain the WCW World Tag Team Championships. But then, out of nowhere, the Steiner brothers, Rick and Scott Steiner, attack the American Males. If I remember correctly, they pulled an 82 or something out of the Nasty Boys. So I was like, okay, these guys are ready for a title run, and that's what they're going to get most likely, barring any unforeseen changes. Then DDP hypes his match against Sting. DDP defeated Sting to retain the WCW WCW United States Championship. Ultimate Warrior hypes his match against the Renegade, which only got a 68, a disappointing semi-main, but that's part of the good thing about this. You never know what's going to be a better match than, you can guess, but these are two main eventers, so was that match, so I expected somewhere along the lines of there, but they didn't like to sell, they didn't have any psychology, and for that reason, and the fact that they're both not really the greatest wrestlers, the match kind of flopped, and it got a 68. And then after that, Hogan hyped his match against Flair, and Ric Flair defeated Hulk Hogan to retain a WCW World Heavyweight Championship after interference from the Four Horsemen, Lex Luger, Arn Anderson, and Brian Pillman. Lex Luger being the main guy. I've decided partly to, Joey Mags is still part of the Four Horsemen, but he is more, or just the Horseman, so I can add more people to it if I or have less people in it if I want. But I've decided to get Joey away, even though he did produce a good rating, not by his lonesome, but by a lot of people, and he didn't drag it down a lot. I've decided to move Joey Mags away from the Four Horsemen in stables and angles, and just have him and Ric Flair be out there. Ric Flair managing Joey Mags during Joey Mags' match, probably on the pre-show, and we'll see what we can get out of Joey Mags. Anyways, that is the show, and after this show, I've signed Taz before. I signed Taz on Sunday, and I signed a pay-per-view with MVS Multivision. So I've got pay-per-view coverage everywhere except Australia and Central Europe. The America and Canada is huge. Mexico's medium. Japan's medium, and England is big. We'll eventually have to get into there, but just trying to build our presence so that we can. And we also need to get a TV deal in Canada and Mexico. So we'll probably try for Canada in February and then Mexico in May, because you can only expand TV shows once there. But after that, we had a few incidents. Not there. We had a few incidents. Oh, I signed. Taz can work for us now. I guess we didn't have anything after that. Never mind. But the next pay-per-view is Starrcade, WCW's biggest pay-per-view of the year. And I decided to spend a bit extra on the special set and a minor band. And I'm also going to move it back a week or two. It's also a season finale, which will end most of our storylines. And they draw bigger attendances and see the wrestlers work extra hard, but the fans will have higher expectations as a result. Meaning, this show has to be one of our better shows. And this month, we only made $7,000. And I have deemed that due to pay-per-view revenue. You see, we got $2 million the first month, $1 million the second month, and only $975,000 the next month. And that was closer to $1.9 million, $2.1 million, and $0.9 million each month, respectively. Our TV has gone down, but our ticket sales have gone down. Our TV also went down because we had to re-sign a deal, I think. Yeah, so we're gonna be getting about almost $300,000 less dollars each month, and we're paying, as far as last month, $1 million on workers. That's all right. It's WCW. We have $26 million. We can afford that, especially if we continue to make profit off there. We also are I'll explain why the pay-per-views did poorly this week. Because this is a highly regarded, as is that highly regarded, while this is just a normal. Which means this has more importance than the Souled Out pay-per-view. And as a result, these will get more pay-per-view buys and more attendance and more money than the normal importances are. So we have Legendary for Starrcade, so that'll get a lot of attendance and a lot of money, while Clash of Champions will only get us a normal amount. That will give us an above average, normal, above average, a historic level. That's basically our second biggest pay-per-view. And I'm going to go ahead and spend an extra $15,000 on there, and I'll get a local band. And a minor band. For that, because it's historic, I'm trying to even boost that higher. Now, these importance aren't levels aren't necessarily unchangeable. They can go down. If you have a bad Starcade for a few years, the importance will go down. If you have a good Clash of Champions for a few years, the importance will go up. Same with everything. The Bash at the Beach is above average, normal, and too highly regarded, then a normal, and then a legendary. So, we have a few morale issues. Roddy Piper will never get off annoyed. Create a meeting. I've decided to eventually, within the next year, at least, potentially start moving Hogan down, start moving Flair down, start moving Savage and Piper down. Have them put over a few more people than they usually do. I mean, they'll still be up in the card because they should still have a lot of popularity and they'll still be draws, but they won't be as useful. And I expect Savage to at least drop. I expect them all to drop, preferably get Sting up there, and another guy, maybe Lex, E37. Maybe we can get. Let's check our main eventers. See who we could potentially build around. We could build around Big Bubba Rogers, but I don't necessarily like that idea. I mean, Jeff Jarrett, he's a good idea. Although apparently he broke 6,000 guitars and never drew a dime, so I don't know how well he's going to draw for us. We could have Tatanka, he's only 30, and the Giant. Renegade, although I plan on pushing him down the pecking order and basically burying him. We can always, again, steal guys from the WWF, which I plan on doing. The one guy I really, well, there's a few guys, but I want to get people like Ahmed Johnson. I feel like he could be something if his Destiny role is decent. We could get Bret Hart. We could get Diesel and Razor. We're probably not gonna get Hunter. I mean, we could get Triple H if we really want to. We're gonna get Razor. We're going to get Owen, potentially Owen as well. Shawn is loyal to the WWF, so unless the WWF do not give him a contract offer, he'll probably stay there. I do plan on getting Sonny, though. Because why not get Sonny? Ted DiBiase, although he's retired and he's 41, he's still a good manager, still good on the mic, still popular. I don't know if you heard that or not, but it is currently storming outside where I live, so you might be hearing a bit of thunder, you might be hearing a bit of whatever. There's Uncle Zebekiah Coulter. And that is going to be it for this episode. I, again, apologize for the WCW Souled Out, but you will see WCW Monday Nitro in 2 days. Yeah, 2 days. Which will be May the 2nd, if I am correct. Potentially May the 1st. It'll be on Saturday. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed it. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.